Orleans won the toss, selected to receive the football. And Patrick Murray puts a right foot on it, and this will be Tommy Lee Lewis from a couple of yards out of his own end zone, and still on his feet and spun down right at the 21-yard line.
Games 51% of plays have been runs.
And naturally they'll come out passing on first down. And how about that move? Ted Ginn Jr. in his 11th year out of Ohio State. And again, Kamara checks into the backfield, and they're going to throw it again on first down. And the catch is made by Kamara, and he's up close to midfield. Kamara, their second leading rusher. They're the homecoming for Beckwith. He's a rookie out of LSU. This is Kamara, and to quote Sean Payton, as you look at the rest of this Saints offense. Second down and a quick slant short of a first down on the reception to the second-year standout wide receiver. Breeze trying to keep this drive alive. And what a tackle, trying to reach out for the first down is Thomas. And it looked like he got there. McLean wrapped him up. But what a standout receiver he has become in a short amount of time. Pass is caught down to the 37-yard line again. Thomas. Going to start for Breeze, 5 out of 5. And breaking a tackle out of the arms of McCoy is Kamara. In turn, the game that should have been in the back pocket against Chicago. Third down. And Breeze is hit on all 6 of his pass attempts. And this is caught by Ted Ginn Jr. And yes. Another first down, and they'll put it in the hands of Ingram for the first time, and he picks up a couple of yards, maybe 3 to the 25. 10th play of the drive. Kamara off the left side is tackled at the 21-22-yard line.
Creates open zones for Drew Brees to exploit.
Brees 6 out of 6 so far in this drive, and nearly intercepted by Levante David. By Will Lutz, 17 of 18 inside 50 in his career. And now make it 18 of 19.
First blood.
Jen, that's great as long as you use analytics for on the field instead of in your draft room.
That one booted through the back of the end zone, and here comes Jameis Winston. Over 4 weeks, where Winston has practiced during the week, been allowed to throw before Friday. That's Doug Martin off the left side for turn and hand it to him again, and that's a nice run up to the 33-yard line. Well, they spot the ball at the 31-yard line after the run by Martin. Catch is made, but short of the first down to Charles Sims.
3.
Might have been a backup for a number of years in Carolina. Got a lot of playing time last season when Luke Kuechly was injured. There's a flag before the punt by Brian Anger.
Ball start. Offense number 59. 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
And the always dangerous. Oh, they got it. They blocked it. And it is a touchdown. Justin Hardy.
You have a free run like Hardy has. He almost beats a snapback there. He had to slow down to actually block that punt. That's just a lack of execution and a breakdown in protection. Great line right there. Proven theory.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, the penalty was on Devontae Bond, and now this is blocked. And it's a 6-0 lead. So not a good start for the Buccaneers, who come in having lost 4 games in a row. And man, during this losing streak,
believe it.
Winston to come out throwing here on first down. And right into traffic. That's triple team traffic over there. He had an eye on O.J. Howard.
Ball start. Offense number 73.
Well, that's been another major story for this Buccaneers team. I mean,
the game started. Let's go.
Winston steps up, And was that caught? It is a reception made by Deshaun Jackson, the 10. You knew it was going to break on a third down. And he makes a catch, and that is a first down all the way up to the 41-yard line. And on third down, that's tied for third most in the NFL this season. Martin is dragged down behind the line of scrimmage, and again it's number 53 making a play, A.J. Klein, or New Orleans lead. I beg your pardon. It was second down, and Winston airing it out down the sideline. And Deshaun Jackson looking for a flag. There is a flag at the...
That much of a threat.
Pass interference. Defense number 20. Spot foul. Automatic first down.
It's an automatic first down. It's a 13-yard penalty. And at the 49-yard line, they'll hand it to Martin. And just not much there. Maybe a yard. Let's go back to Carissa Thompson at 3. Winston trying to get it in his hands, and they just do get it off. And Winston will roll. And he'll run it. And will dive forward, caught from behind, but he's at the 42-yard line. The third down and 4, three-man rush. Winston all day to throw. And is it inbounds to Evans? Nope. Remember the last punt attempt by Anger was blocked for a touchdown. Well, he took a long time to get rid of that ball. End over end. Fair pat catch, signaled for at the 11-yard line by Ted Ginn's building. They have won 15 of the 75. Now, weren't as good the last couple of years as Ingram carries on first down for maybe a couple of yards. And gonna throw it here on second down, and Breeze slightly underthrows Alvin Kamara, and that'll bring the fourth quarter when you're basically trying to put a game on ice against Chicago. And now the long ball and wide open was Ted Ginn Jr. And they could not connect. Mercy, mercy.
I thought I had him, but you had him. And when that happens, that's a problem.
Short punt. And a fair catch close to midfield is made by Bernard Reedy. It's a very good field position. All right, so another chance here for Tampa Bay. And now they're looking for the long ball. And again, thrown in a position where the receiver just can't come down. In this case, Deshaun Jackson drives for this Tampa Bay defense, giving the offense a chance to get some points on the board. And now another penalty. It's already a couple of them on the offense.
Still second down.
And go.
So now second and 15. And that is Evans, his first catch. The Buccaneers leading receiver. Third down and 2. And Winston is going to run it. And he picks up a first down. Jordan tackles him, but Marshawn Lattimore named the NFC's Defensive Rookie of the Month earlier this week. And Martin is slammed down by Alex Okafor well behind the line of scrimmage. He's a rookie out of Florida Atlantic. They drafted him in the third round this year. Good protection. That wasn't a good throw, and thus an incompletion. He had an open receiver. Coming after Winston, and they're going to get him.
He's able to dump him. I mean, that's Cam Jordan. That's the year he's having right there.
Anger trying to pin him inside the 20 for a second straight time, and will. As Ginn again at the 11-yard line. Would not be a surprise to anybody. I think you had him on last night during the production meeting. Off the left side on first down. This is Ingram.
Drove it right there.
Ingram, of course, a 2009 Heisman Trophy winner. Had over 1,000 rushing yards last year. And this is Brandon Cole.
Decided how much to give Mark Ingram on his plate today.
Ingram to the sideline. They give it to Kamara on a first down run, and he's up to the 30-yard line, a gain of close to 6. Second down, and that is Thomas for a first down up to the 43-yard line. And that's up to the 47-yard line.
One of the best play callers in the game, by the way.
Turn it, hand it again to Ingram, and he's stuffed right at the line of scrimmage this time by Robert Ayers Jr. So it'll bring up a many years was a group of running backs they had here back during that championship season. And that is a first down reception to the 41-yard line by Kobe Fleener.
Ready, what's up? Ready, blue 90, what's up?
And that's down to the 31-yard line on Ingram.
What?
Ready, what's up?
Gain of 9, he'll turn and hand it off again to Ingram. He's denied the first down, so third and less than a yard. David on the running back that was so good for this team was Pierre Thomas. He was an excellent player for this team. The ball is loose, and it is recovered by Tampa Bay, and this time it's Kamara who coughs it up, not Ingram. He had converted a third down.
He's holding it high and tight, and he tries to cover it up with two hands, but he misses, and you see Ryan Smith coming in there and doing a great job of putting his shoulder on the ball. Ball loose. Who wants it? Tampa got it.
As the Saints started this year, they became just the third team ever to go their first 4 games of the year without turning it over. Now they have 2 fumbles in the fourth quarter last week by Ingram. They give it up here.
And he stripped LaShawn McCoy from the Bills 2 weeks ago.
Into the open field, it's a speedy Deshaun Jackson, and he has a first down up to the 42-yard line. That's it. Trying to avoid that here. Jameis, good protection. And underthrew his intended receiver, Mike Evans. Second down and 10. And this is Peyton Barber for the first time. Second year back out of Auburn, and there is a penalty flag down.
Holding.
It's
Defense
not.
number 95. 5-yard penalty. Automatic first
So
down.
that's Tyler Davison. They are back. This is Deshaun Jackson on the end around, and that's a nice pickup. Close to 8 yards on first down. Barber in the backfield. And they give it to him. You know, Barber's a very interesting story. It is Barber again. Strong running down to the 29-yard line. A gain of 9 for Barber. Takes a pitch, avoids one tackle, but then is dragged down by Manti Te'o, the former Notre Dame standout. Ninth play of this drive. Winston started 2, held on, and it's blown dead.
Prior to the snap. Delay game.
Oh, my goodness.
Offense number 3. 5-yard penalty.
I mean, Chris,
Still third down.
third and 3 becomes third and 8. And now another penalty along the offensive line. The right tackle, Dotson, starts too early.
Offense number 69.
Let's go to Carissa Thompson in Los Angeles. Can they convert? They're coming after Winston. Great protection, and now he's flushed out of the pocket. Spins the other way. And Winston looks down the field and hits Sims, who's wide open. And he's still on his feet and run out of bounds at the 32-yard line. Now Patrick Murray. Good snap, good hold, and a real good kick by Murray. And that is right down the middle. He's 2 for 2 from 50 since done regularly during this 4-game losing streak, especially with penalties. And penalties on the offense. Ted Ginn now going to throw it across the field on one hop. And that did not go very well. You had talked about that, Chris, how you had seen them do that before. And he wouldn't be the first guy to try and hide New Orleans. That's caught by Kamara. He fumbled his last touch. Look at this rookie staying on his feet up to the 24. Of course, Christian McCaffrey in Carolina. And you have Kamara right here in New Orleans. And there's some people, Chris, that'll tell you, often McCaffrey's the only running back in the NFL with more receptions than Kamara, although he's adding to it here today. He's up into the 31-yard line, which should take us to the 2. Third down and 4. Breeze flush from the pocket, throws on the run, and it's Kamara again to the 41 to stop the clock. Game. Well, both defenses among the very worst at getting off the field on third down. Breeze is hit from behind and the ball is loose. And it looks like his center covered it up. After the sack, second down and 17. And Breeze in trouble. Gets it away to Fleener. Across midfield, inside the 40, and all the way down to the 33-yard line.
When a guy scrambles, lock up.
All right, first down, they set up a screen to Kamara, and he's inside the 20. Cuts it back to the inside, still on his feet inside the 10. Kamara with a touchdown.
Guys work. Watch Lewis get out in space and get enough of Levante David. Kamara makes a miss. We just warned you about the screens and how good they are. Michael Thomas getting a block downfield on big number 98, Clint McDonald. Those guys don't quit. They understand the importance of screens. To make it work, you have to have effort, 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 and that's why the Saints are the best screen team in the game.
And the point after is good by Will Lutz. And that one blasted through the back of the end zone. 55 seconds until halftime. And will the Big 12 have another basketball-like score? As it's seemingly every week inside the Big 12, 62-52.
He has on the football.
All right, 43 seconds left. And he had to get rid of that in a hurry. Third down and a yard. And he is sacked again. He had an eye on Deshaun Jackson down the sideline, but
Remember, Ryan Fitzpatrick is more than capable, is in the bullpen.
Fitzpatrick threw for 3 touchdowns in that near miracle comeback in Arizona, the 25 again. So you have 30 seconds left. Saints are out of timeouts.
Resting that arm on his leg.
There's no doubt. They put it in the hands of Ted Ginn Jr. and he's dragged down to the 28-yard line. Over for the injured Winston, trailing 24-0. He threw 3 touchdown passes in that game in a 3-point loss. Let's go downstairs to Jennifer. The last 2 years, Fitzpatrick had the great 2015, you may recall, with the New York Jets. He threw for nearly 4,000 yards that year. Threw 31 touchdowns and 15 interceptions.
Thing to look for as we move into the second half.
You also notice that Doug Martin is in the backfield, and he will take the football and is bottled up at the 29-yard line and bring up third down. Fitzpatrick's first throw is incomplete. Excellent coverage on the far side of the field by P.J. Williams on Cameron Brake.
Breakdowns, no mental breakdowns, no big plays.
You know, it's a very young secondary. I mean, you've got Vaccaro, who's been around for 5 years, but they're starting 2 rookies, and the ball is fumbled. Did Ginn get it back is a question, and they're saying yes, he did. So big story will be, win or lose Chris Spielman. Does it make any sense to continue to play him? Here's Ingram into the open field, crossing midfield, and he's all the way to the 40-yard line. Biggest run of the afternoon. Kamara back into the game, over 100 yards from scrimmage and a big touchdown in the first half, and this one to the 22-yard line. Then Kamara. And Ingram back into the game, quick slant, and the catch is made for another first down, it appears, by Michael Thomas.
That's why they've given up a league low 8 sacks.
They go out of the I formation, a rare touch for the fullback Zach Line. And that should be all. Pierre Thomas, part of that group, was so good. And then they brought in Sproles to do a lot of things. Breeze, not known for his running ability, will slide down at the 5-yard line. That'll be a gain of 8. Second down and 4. And for the second time today, it's Alvin Kamara into the end zone.
Too easy. It's in the hole. Watch out for Kamara. He's going to make an unblocked player miss in the hole. Right there. See that? Quan Alexander. Unblocked. And you have that little shake.
Only stat I need to see after the game on Sunday is average yards per carry. Ball League. He grew up in Norcross, Georgia, to Liberian parents. Started out at Alabama. We'll talk more about his journey here a little bit later on. We'd like to Fitzpatrick on in relief. And he figures to do a lot of this the rest of the way, putting it in the air. Incomplete with an eye on Peyton Barber, and Jennifer Hale is standing down along the sideline.
Questionable to return, Tom.
Great stuff, Jennifer Hale. Thank you very much. And now Fitzpatrick steps up and throws to O.J. Howard. And the ball is fumbled. And the Saints have it at the 37-yard line. If it is indeed ruled a fumble.
Von Bell right there ripping that football out. To me, that ball is on the ground. Guy's so good right now. I love the fact that, first of all, Von Bell secures the tackle.
Around. They were stripping the ball loose, forcing fumbles, interceptions. Now Breeze trying to put the dagger. And does. It is a touchdown for Ted Ginn Jr.
Off the run game. With a quick toss. Watch Ginn right here just run for the post. And anything you know in the scouting report with Ted Ginn Jr. is he can still stretch the field. Justin Evans got caught looking at the quarterback. That's best.
Tell you what, Ted Ginn's been around a long time, playing for his fifth team. I'm not so sure he's not playing better right now than he has in his entire career. Look at that. In divisional games, 37 in a row, an NFL record. He has thrown for 230 yards or better. 30-3, he'll turn and hand it off. And that's Peyton Barber. That's good, strong, hard running by Barber up to the 31. And let's go to Chris at, Rams team, even when they've had some decent teams, they would never be able to go into New York and win a game like that. And they're rolling today, 34-10.
So everybody talks about it.
Saints bringing the blitz. Fitzpatrick gets it away. And it's incomplete to Deshaun Jackson, locked up with.
And then what Evans did was completely uncalled for. I certainly would support an ejection for Evans for that contact there, coming from behind, knocking that player over, and really escalated the whole situation. 13.
After the play was
but
over,
replay can't.
Personal foul. Offense number 13. 15-yard penalty. Down counts. Still fourth down.
I'm going to follow up real quick, Dean, because.
And then they'll make the call during the week if there's any further discipline.
It's great to have Dean Blandino with us. He was the guy that was having a look at this kind of thing on Sundays and, of course, make decisions on Monday and hear from coaches and others around the league as Ginn has run out of bounds.
Ready!
So back to the ground game. It'll be Ingram. And he's met by Golston after picking up a couple of yards. Let's go downstairs to Jennifer Hale. Jen? On sports radio and even some of the newspaper columnists. Tom Jones, an excellent columnist that covers the Buccaneers on a regular basis. And
could be claimed, or can be claimed to his ability.
that's Ingram. On third down and a yard.
Too high or the lows get too low. I think that's one area where he can improve.
Breeze looking down the field, wide open. And making the catch is Michael Thomas. Golston into the ambulance, and they'll get right outside what's in Hale. It's University Hospital, if I'm not mistaken. That's where they took Zach Miller.
For the medical staff.
Breeze a screen to Ingram. Turns the corner and steps out of bounds. They hand it off to Ingram on third down, and he's about a yard and a half short.
Lines for William Golston right now.
43-yard field goal try, and it is off to the right, wide right for Lutz. His fourth miss. Football at the 33-yard line. Ryan Fitzpatrick on in relief of the injured Jameis Winston. That's Luke Stockton.
He's much improved, especially at the corner position.
That's Barber for a first down, close to midfield. First time to Evans and Lattimore. And now Fitzpatrick with all day to throw it. And then sooner or later you're going to run out of time, and he did, although he picks up positive yardage.
And that's just not playing, Tom. Not getting reps, not getting timing with the receivers.
Chris Godwin, the rookie out of Penn State, on the reception, and he has a first down.
So you never know.
Barber looking for running room, spins out of one tackle. Jordan runs him down at the 35-yard line. Not been a good day. Starting very early on for this Tampa Bay offense against this surging Saints defense. And Von Bell again in on a sack. Third down and 13, and Fitzpatrick, how about this? And the 34th, soon-to-be 35-year-old, picks up a first down on a 3rd and 13.
Back, you're down. You can't get up and run.
They'll snap it before the end of the quarter. And Fitzpatrick will throw it into the ground to end the quarter. Yeah, we haven't had breaks for a few years now. 3 straight years at 7 and 9. That's incomplete. It was an intentional grounding call, by the way, that they looked over after we left on that final play, so it meant a loss of down, of course. So that was 2nd down. We got Evans on Lattimore again down here at the bottom of your screen, and they're looking for Evans. And the throw to him is incomplete. Great coverage by Lattimore.
Walk away.
And he's having something to say.
Yeah, he's got to walk away.
And it is no good.
Daniel, warm it up.
Waiting.
Figure to see a lot of this. Ingram on the ground. And he's up to the 47-yard line. Jennifer.
Cutter there. He's going to find out which guys are going to play through no matter what the score is. Keep playing. Quan Alexander kept playing on that play.
Well, Jameis Winston came off the bench.
In the game.
Yep. I mean, that's going to run in the tens and tens and tens of thousands of dollars against Evans. 3rd down. Screen to Kamara, and the Saints will go 3 and out. He said, I thought we had that whipped last year. His first year, they did an excellent job. They went 9 and 7. They've not been in the playoffs in 9 years. That's going back to when John Gruden was a coach and Jeff Garcia was a quarterback. I mean, they
Composure to be at your best because your offense and your players around you take your lead. And if you're yelling and screaming and crazy all the time, they're going to take that lead.
Reading. First down Tampa Bay, and trailing 30-3. They're going to put in the hands. Here's one guy that's had a nice game, and that's Peyton Barber getting a little chance to play a little bit.
Most is Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay. I think that's my opinion.
I don't know how anybody could ever argue that. Dalvin Cook might be the next in line. Some would say J.J. Watt. 11-12 to go. 3rd down and a yard, and Barber lunges forward to first down. Well, what else is going on around the league?
How good your defense is, eventually you need the quarterback.
Yep. Barber out of the backfield, dives forward, picks up 9. Like Scott Snyder, Tom Barbary up here in the booth. Here's a catch made by Reedy, and he's slung down at the 45.
Is done if they've gone back to Cam Newton running the football. 85 yards rushing today.
And the Panthers have run for almost 200. It's happened. Kyle Shanahan.
Defense number 23. 5-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
It's on Lattimore, but I mean, you know, look.
Defenses last year just not quite the threat as far as running the football.
Fitzpatrick dragged down from behind. Kika getting the sack, the Hawaii native.
Get to the quarterback and finish.
And that is a catch by Adam Humphries. 3rd down and 10 for Fitzpatrick. Good protection here. Throws into triple coverage, and it's incomplete with an eye on Evans. They've had 5 #1 draft picks in the last 2 years come out of the Ohio State secondary, and you just saw 2 of them in coverage there, in Lattimore and Bell. The ball fumbled by Willie Snead, and it belongs to Tampa Bay. Trying to hand it off to Barber. Okay, Barber today is making a bid for a little bit more playing time. We're not quite sure why they sat Doug Martin down early in his. So Tampa Bay on a 2nd down and 10, under 7.5 now to go. Fitzpatrick slides down, close to a first down, needed to get to the 9. First down and goal, Fitzpatrick to throw it. And this will be a touchdown for Luke Stocker. 2 touchdowns in his entire career.
It's whatever he wants to do. And Fitzpatrick makes the easiest throw possible to Stocker. That's their first touchdown in 8 quarters.
To Carolina a week ago, point after is up and good by Patrick Murray. Little about the war against Japan during World War II. Much is made about, of course, fighting the Germans, but it's unbelievable. And Brooks here again today, Jennifer Hales.
Jen, absolutely.
Closing in on 6.5 minutes to go, and we're going to close in since the opening quarter up until that touchdown a moment ago. And now turning the corner is Kamara, who has had a monster day, and he'll just take a knee at the 42-yard line.
And that's what convinced Sean Payton after watching Kamara run routes that he's the guy that would fit this system.
It's 142 yards from scrimmage today. That's a career best for Kamara. You know, we talked about
what he brings.
Well, we talked about that Carolina game. 4:20 to go. Little delay to Kamara, and that's a 10-yard run. That's now. Up to the right side, it'll be Ingram.
He'll be known as 2017. We're going to be disciplined, and we're going to fight till the end. Ability to catch the ball in the backfield.
Saints have averaged over 5.5 yards per carry, and that's a 3rd down and a yard. That'll take us to the 2-minute warning. And then at a 49-yard touchdown reception, he is still the only player in history to do that.
You know the biggest surprise about that?
I mean, you can sort of sense just watching the Saints team right now for the first time since 2013. They've not been there the last 3 years. And of course, he'll be keeping an eye on the conclusion of that one going on in Carolina right now. Panthers are going to win that thing. So the final is 30-3. New Orleans, 30-10, I beg your pardon, after the late touchdown by the Buccaneers. And the Buccaneers lose here 5th in a row. The Saints win their 6th in a row. And what will the future hold for Jameis Winston? Will he play next week?